Resolutions.
Okay, say that again.
Recap and resolutions.
Okay, we're good for... We are good for sound.
Awesome.
Yeah, New Year's... Well, like the man said, New Year's recap and resolutions. Welcome to the first Slapcast of 2017.
Yeah, bruh.
I am Schwarz TKD.
And I am Legend by Design.
And we are here to talk to you about whatever the fuck we feel like talking about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Speaking of resolutions, I just don't make any.
You don't make any?
No, I don't make any. I never really saw the point even when I was younger and before the whole no one keeps their resolution mindset got really, before I really learned that. So
yeah. It's
like, if you're going to do something, just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like,
definitely. I totally agree. I totally understand and appreciate that mindset.
Yeah, like we got friends who are like, they're posting on Facebook now that all the resolutioners are at the gym. I'm like, because if you're doing it just for that, if you're going to the gym or if you're starting a project just because it's your resolution, then you're not going to be able to commit to it as easily. I'm not saying you can't.
It's just tougher.
Right, because you have to actually want to do it.
Yeah. A resolution, from what I've seen, most often implies something that you want to improve, but don't actually want to improve, if that makes any sense.
Kind of, yeah. And I mean, there's exceptions, like folks when they make a resolution to quit smoking or quit drinking, they're not
chewing. My old man quit chewing, and he kept to that.
Right, and then that's, they're doing that not because it's their resolution, they're using the resolution as a milestone for when to start working on that goal.
Sure.
And that's the same as if I was going to start going to the gym every X number of times a week, being like, okay, starting next week, I'm going to do that. And I could be saying that in March or September, as easily as January.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, but having it as a milestone, having it as a start point, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right, that part's fine.
For a lot of especially for a lot of things, like if you want to lose weight, you want to go to the gym, you want to do stuff, you want to be more active, things along those lines, that's fine. And if you want to be able to track your progress too, it's much easier to do that.
Right, if you say on the first of the month, I'm going to start losing weight, and then a month later you can check. Right. You have an easy marking point.
Yeah.
But it's become such a thing where, like, Phineas and Ferb, I freaking love that show. And in it, the main, he's not even the main bad guy because there's not really any bad guys, but Dr. Doofenshmirtz, at one point he invents a New Year's resolution-inator, because everything he invents is some kind of inator.
Yeah.
Where it's going to make everyone have their New Year's resolution be that they will swear fealty to him and make him the ruler of the tri-state area. Because that's what he wants. He wants to rule the tri-state area.
Okay.
And Perry the Platypus, which is Phineas and Ferb's pet platypus, but he's also a secret agent, he doesn't even try to stop him this time. And he just stands there and lets Dr. D activate the device. Everyone makes the resolution that they're going to make him their ruler. And then they promptly turn around and leave the party. And because that was the joke, because no one keeps their New Year's resolution.
Yeah. That was clever, Disney.
Yeah.
That was clever.
It was it's a good show. I love that show.
Yeah. Although I do have a resolution that I would like to keep.
I actually, quick thought, I actually like that show so much, I've tweeted at the main writers and producers who also voice two of the characters. Yeah. And they always tweet back. They are awesome guys.
Be good to your fans, everyone.
Yeah.
It's all good. Be like, they show you love, you show them love.
You tweet at us, you leave a comment, we will respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not right away, then we endeavor to try and do it within
our
24
resolution
hours.
Is to respond.
Yeah, our resolution is to respond within a 24-hour time frame. That is our goal. Yeah. That is what we want to aspire to. That's what we are aspiring to, not what we want to aspire to. This is what we are aspiring to.
And it's good to start that now, so that when we have a small number of followers, so that down the road when we have, fingers crossed, thousands and more of all you good listeners, we'll already be in a good habit of responding.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Yeah. So you're going to say you have a resolution.
I do have a resolution. And, some of you, well, very few of you, actually, because I haven't spoken to a lot of people on any real digital medium about this, but I am me and Schwarz here are training to be voice actors. And I had finished my coaching. I got my demos produced. I started auditioning for jobs on voices.com. I'm not sponsored. That's just where I do it so far. And we're just like, I'm getting my start. And where I'd like to be, my resolution is to grow the brand as much as I possibly can and see where I'm at so that I can keep track of where I am and where I want to go. Where I'd like to be, like, I started the hashtag VO Dream Roll, which I checked and I'm the only one on Twitter that's used it. And I'm like, I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm proud of that.
You're going to make that a thing.
I've already made it a thing. The internet has not discovered it. Tweet at Legend by Design with the hashtag VO Dream Roll with your VO Dream Roll. Today, I actually tweeted one out. Meliodas. I would have loved to voice Meliodas. And then I always give props to the people who have hey, this is my VO Dream Roll is XYZ. Meliodas from 7 Deadly Sins on Netflix. Bryce Papenbrook kills it in this role. I want to give that would be my VO Dream Roll and give props to the people who do it.
Because you're voicing Meliodas in 7 Deadly Slaps.
Correct.
Yeah. And,
But I also love Bryce Papenbrook's interpretation of that.
He is solid. That all the voice actors in that show, in both the English and the Japanese, are solid.
I haven't watched the Japanese, but I have watched the English, and Ben Diskin for Bond. Oh my god, Bond's so great.
I fell in love with the English version. It really, really works.
Yeah.
I mean, even the mascot character doesn't annoy me, like they tend to.
The mascot character? Hawk. Oh, Hawk. Yeah. Hawk is great.
What would my dream role be?
Yeah, what's your VO dream role?
Oh, Jesus.
Hashtag VO dream role.
God,
Hashtag deep.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I mean,
I've just been doing different ones each day.
Right, because
whenever
I think for me it would be not an anime off the top of my head. It would be probably a video game.
Okay. Sure.
Where because I'm just so into the voicing a character in a Bethesda game. They don't really have the main character speak, but being in a Mass Effect game. Oh. Yeah, being one of the main cast in Mass Effect. That would be my VO dream role. VO dream role. And Andromeda, because Andromeda's coming soon.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're going to release the whole collection again for the new generation of consoles.
Yeah.
Maybe
we
not,
both auditioned for a role in that.
Yeah. Yeah, they BioWare actually did an open casting call for a couple.
Yeah, the Explorers Wanted competition, as I'm sure thousands of people did. But it's always nice to say, hey, I auditioned for a role in that game.
Yeah.
Just to say you did it.
Right.
Plus it was
that's
fun.
That's the thing is that you can't. First of all, it was free. Auditioning is always free.
Yeah.
The worst they're going to do is say no, thank you.
Yeah. And that just
much
like
my dating life. I'm sad now.
I mean, no one I'm not even going to get into it.
No, I shouldn't. No, we might cut that out. Probably not, because I'm too lazy to actually edit these.
Yeah, don't cut it out. But now we know.
Yeah. Anyway, because it doesn't. Well, that's the whole thing. Is that you gotta for any kind of resolution or any kind of moving forward with the project, you have to at least start. I've started working on cosplay stuff.
Yeah.
For myself and for other local folks who I know through the community. The first prop sword that I made, terrible. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't have a mold for the plaster while I was pouring it. I was kind of just shaping it as I was pouring it. I also did not know that if you're spray painting some substances, you have to lay down a coat of primer or the paint won't stick to it. Huh. So the silver paint on the sword comes right off on your fingers.
Oh, the things you'll learn.
Exactly. And next time I try to make that sword, I'm going to use craft foam instead.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense, and that's really just I think that's a lot like VO. Mm-hmm. A lot of it's learning as you go. You can get all the coaching, do that, and you want and that's very valuable. That will give you a lot of good tools in your VO tool belt. But damn if experience doesn't give you just as much.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually rewinding back a bit, my first tweet with hashtag #VODreamroll was for Tenya Ida in My Hero Academia.
Oh, okay.
And
is that the main kid?
No.
Okay.
No, that is Izuku Midoriya. Tenya Ida, and especially for those of you who don't know My Hero Academia, if you don't, please go watch it.
Funimation.
It's my current favorite shonen anime, and it finished up its first season a couple months back, and I just can't stop talking about it.
And the few clips I've seen, actually, I'll back that because I haven't seen the whole season. I've seen just select clips, but it strikes me as one of those shows that takes all the shonen tropes and cliches and embraces them to the point that they don't even feel like cliches.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely. That's a really good way of putting it, actually. Yeah. But my first one
stole that from Giguk.
Was for Tenya Ida. Shout out to Giguk. The first one was Tenya Ida, and you might like it. He's a speedster. Mm-hmm. But his quirk is engine. So he doesn't use it, and it's only
you mentioned
it's only in his calves. Mm-hmm. He can run really fast, but he's also like an intelligent dude with a lot going for him, right? So he actually has like a six piston engines in his calves that help him run super fast, and it's really a really cool looking thing that he can do. And he's just like, I'm like, that would be awesome if I got to voice him. Yeah. And then I sent that tweet with a GIF of Tenya Ida running to the English voice actor, J. Michael Tatum. And it made me smile because J. Michael Tatum liked it. And I'm just like, it warms my heart when they do that. I'm like, they don't have to.
No,
they absolutely don't have to, and I'm totally fine if they like don't even acknowledge it, but. For someone to click that like button anywhere, like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah.
Like,
by the way, good. Like, favorite, subscribe.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's a cliche, but it works.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, too, is like, all right, right now we have, those of us here at Slap Happy Chaps, the two of us, also X-Dread and Captain Fatty. With the four of us, we're able to be very on the ball with responding to Facebook comments, likes, tweets, etc. Because there's four of us, and because we only have a few hundred followers.
Yeah. Oh God, Catnip is tremendous. At that Facebook.
Yeah. Now, add a zero to that. Let's say we're at like what 500 followers now.
700.
700. Okay.
Just shy of 700 last I checked on YouTube.
So look at it. A couple of years from now, we'll be at 7,000. Are we going to be able to reply to everyone? No.
Probably not. But from what we're able, we'll always do what we are able.
Right, and sometimes that'll mean we'll be having a podcast and we'll talk about comments and things that we saw from the fans. But even if it's just when we can hitting the like button, it shows that you're paying attention.
Hashtag, and you can also tweet at us with the hashtag #SlapcastShoutout to get a shout out. Like, we'll absolutely do it.
Yeah, we love hearing from people, whether it's the 700 we have now or the 7,000 we're going to have in a few years, because we're gonna keep this train rolling.
Yeah, we're gonna
go back to Dan Povenmire and Jeff Marsh,
the Phineas and
Ferb guys. Like, I tweeted it out because Dr. Doofenshmirtz is one of my favorite characters, and I forget which of them does it, but one of them voices him, and so I tweeted at him directly. Some joke with like the classic "Curse you, Perry the Platypus" kind of thing to it, and just a general comment how much I like the show and how much it always makes my day. And he shared it with the other guy, so like they are still at a point where they're responding to a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, it's always just good to do that. Interacting with your audience is...
Direct tweets, too, is a bit easier for folks to respond to.
Yeah. If this sounds like a podcast where we're just saying, oh, I tweeted to this guy and it sounded awesome, that is what we're doing.
It's kind of what we're doing.
It's kind of what we're doing, but we're having fun. Like, what else do you want? Like, we're here talking. We don't have to, but we're here doing it, and we like doing it.
Yeah, this is something that we're doing because it's another way for us to engage.
Plus, we're neighbors, and it helps.
Well, just like texting each other. You want a podcast? All right, let me put some pants on.
Yeah, hang on. I'll finish eating the sandwich. I'll be right over. Why don't you bring the sandwich over? I don't want to bring the sandwich over.
Bring the sandwich over.
I am committed to this plate and this desk where I am eating it at Like I am
Fair enough.
I am in pre-chew mode. All right, so
then quit talking and start eating.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
How are you texting and eating at the same time? It can be done.
I'm talented.
I'm not multitasking, but God, can I respond quickly? No, it's like
well, and then it's also just we wanted to have a podcast specifically kind of just talking about 2016 as a whole.
Yeah.
Plans going into 2017, and so far that's been us talking about tweeting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if we wanted to talk about 2016, with all the bad shit that's gone down, like lots of artists and actors and whatnot, they've all passed.
Lots of tragedies in general. There were a lot of disasters. I think this was a record year for mass shootings, which that's a shitty record.
Oh God.
Yeah. Because there were a bunch of ones at colleges. There was movie theater ones. Yeah.
Nightclub ones.
There's the nightclub. Yeah. But actually, that's a good segue. Because the thing is, there wasn't just bad shit that happened in 2016.
Oh, God, no.
There was a lot of good shit. Not just, we lost Carrie Fisher. That was a bad thing.
William Alexander.
And not just...
Father Mulcahy.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah, and not just good shit about movies and projects that came out. There was good shit that happened in the year in general. People were doing good works.
Just not all as, publicized or mainstream.
Well, and
that's covered by mainstream.
Part of the problem is mainstream media doesn't talk about that stuff because it's not as sensational as the tragedies. It doesn't get the ratings.
It doesn't even need to be sensational. It's because actually, this reminds me of something I read on the internet. Because where else am I going to get news?
Right.
Snot-nosed millennial for the win. There was this teacher writing a bunch of math problems on the board. 9 times 1 is, and he put 8. Right, 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27, all the way up to 90. And the kids start laughing. The kids in his class start laughing because he made that one mistake. He goes back and he looks back at it, looks back at the kids, and says, "This is a life lesson. You didn't even pay attention to the other 9 I got right. You just paid attention to the one I got wrong." So I'm just like, so that resonated with me.
That's a really good point.
So they'll always pay attention to what was wrong.
Yep.
As opposed to all the other shit that was right.
And that goes for everything. Like anyone out there listening who you want to start doing a creative project, people will always point out what they don't like more than what they do. Like my fiction that I write, I'll have people look at it, like friends, coworkers, whoever, and I'll get people who will say, "Oh, I liked it." And if I ask them what they liked or why they liked it, they won't be able to explain that. But they'll be able to explain in full detail what they didn't like. Mm-hmm. It's the same with the news, where they are more likely to talk about what is bad, what went wrong, because that gets the ratings. That's what people focus on. And it sucks, but it's on us to just move past that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bloggers, who's also an author, he posted that when he was talking about 2016, where you're doing like a year in review for all the things that projects he finished, got published, etc. And he was saying how everyone's talking about, oh, thank God 2016 is over. 2017 is going to be better. And he said, like, it'll be about the same, because 2016 wasn't just a shit show. There was some good stuff. 2017 won't be just good stuff. There'll be some shit in there too.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, it's tricky because it is so easy to focus on how much you hate your job, not on all the good things that come from having your job.
And not that the bad things that were publicized, like the death of all those artists and actors, weren't tragedies, because they were.
Yeah.
Death sucks.
The fact that Debbie Reynolds died the day after Carrie Fisher, while she was planning her daughter's funeral, apparently.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's rough.
The fuck happened with that? Did death just pick up the irony scythe that day?
It's okay to grieve. If you want to grieve, grieve. But know that, whether or not you knew these people, life is going to go on anyway.
Yeah. And
there's going to be bad shit that happens next year.
Yep.
But this year actually.
Yeah, because
this is January.
We're recording.
1st.
Yeah, we're recording this on the 1st of the year.
So there's also going to be good shit. So be on the lookout for that. For the love of all that is holy, just be on the lookout for both, okay? Yeah. Like, it'll give you a well-balanced experience.
Even if the good shit is finding a quarter on the sidewalk, or your favorite show gets a new season online,
or the dank memes that'll come out of whatever happens.
#Harambe. Fucking Harambe. No, in all seriousness, I'm sick of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just...
I mean, it's
it was a good one to fit in there.
Yeah. I mean, that was, again, a shitty thing.
Yeah.
That it just happened.
Yeah.
It happened. Fucking move on. Fucking, like, that's one of those things where you don't need to really grieve. You can just kind of like, wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
Post something online about it and...
And if you look at that too, even in that situation,
it sounds a little nihilistic to
me. The zoo where that happened, they followed their best possible practices for the safety of that child.
An excellent point.
Yeah,
an excellent point.
And they are getting endlessly shit on for shooting a captive gorilla when that child was in danger. You know, all the people who were saying like, "Oh, you could have protected the gorilla and you could have gotten out of this." No, they really couldn't have, because you have trained professionals in animal behavior knowing that this gorilla is about to start using that child like a play toy and is strong enough to literally kill that child with his bare hands. They had to act. Yeah. It sucks. It sucks that child fell in there in the first place, whether that was by accident, parental neglect, whatever the reason was. Yeah. It sucks that they had to kill that gorilla.
Yeah.
And it sucks the fact that they had to close down their website because people were bombarding them. Right, and when they asked people to stop that meme, which of course the best way to get the internet to not stop doing something is to ask them to stop doing it. So they had to close down their social media because people would not stop posting about the #Harambe stuff.
You know, although there were some funny things that came out of it.
There were.
I think. And
like any meme, like, once it actually transcended beyond the event itself.
When it became just a meme.
Yeah.
There was actually someone in one of the fantasy leagues that my uncle was in. One of the team names was Dio for Harambe, which means dicks out for Harambe. And I got a crack. I got a kick out of that. Yeah. I really did. Because I know the guy, and I know he's not really all that political or anything.
Right.
Like, I mean, he could be. I don't really know, but I know him well enough to know that I don't think he meant any harm by it.
Right. He was using it for this 1 year of his fantasy league as an amusing team.
Yeah, as a joke. It was a fucking joke. Yeah. That's all it's meant to be. The event itself, that sucked. The meme that came after it.
Carrie Fisher. Look at Carrie Fisher and look at all the amazing fan art tributes to her, showing like her in the Princess Leia costume with a lightsaber curved into a halo.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, all these tributes for people where she touched their lives through this character. And I take a little bit of a silver lining in the fact that Episode 8 finished filming a few months ago, and I believe her parts finished filming a few months before that. So we are going to get to see Princess Leia, General Leia, one last time. It's going to make any scene she's in Episode 8 really fucking bittersweet. But she did leave us. I view that as her leaving us one last thing.
Yeah.
Before she passed.
Yeah. Now, I didn't know Carrie Fisher personally, like, at all.
Right, I never met her.
I was never even the same. I was barely ever in the same hemisphere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Comparatively. But I also think that, like, what struck me most was just the age. She was 60. Like, nowadays, that's not that old.
She did a lot when she was younger.
Well, even so.
That didn't help. And
well, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
A ton of shit when they were younger and 60. 60, even so, with the current level of medical care, that just seems, just in general, 60
it makes it more tragic.
It does make it a little more tragic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's what, I think that's part of what struck me the most. I mean, it is a tragedy that we lost anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
my heart goes out to who knew Carrie Fisher.
Right. Alan Rickman.
He was probably the one that hit me the most. Hit me the hardest.
Yeah,
but at
absolutely.
the same time, like, he was almost 70.
Mm-hmm. Not that old, all things considered.
Not that old, especially, again, current level of medical care.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 30, and I still wake up some mornings, and I have to remind myself that I'm not 20.
Yeah.
And
I never remind myself of that.
That's because you're 12.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking amazing.
He has a very deep voice for a 12-year-old.
My life is amazing.
Settle down, Archer.
No. He's 37. I can't handle that shit. Canonically.
Yeah,
Thank you, Wikipedia.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm a terrible human being, guys. Yeah. Tear me apart in the comments. I kind of want to see where this goes. I'll be totally honest. Yeah.
Oh man.
Fucking that's just gonna be fun. Oh man. Yeah. But bottom line is, to end the recap on 2016, in my view, good shit happened, bad shit happened. Bad shit involved tragedy.
Yeah.
The good shit involved bettering humanity.
Yeah.
I'm a very big believer in balance.
And also true, the thing too is like so far in our podcast we've talked just about like cool shows and movies and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now you see
that chat with Kirikai.
Yeah.
Shout out, buddy. He's a good dude.
Yeah. So like we talked a lot about like air quotes nerdy stuff, but that alone can also be a good thing.
Yeah, certainly.
Look at the subjects touched on in Jessica Jones that even 5 years ago television would not have gone near. Rape, PTSD.
In the same episode?
In the first episode.
Alcohol abuse.
Yeah. So this is shit that...
Shout out to Kristen Ritter.
Yeah. Amazing.
Seriously.
Yeah. So like this is shit that would never have been touched on even a few years ago, even 5 years ago in television.
Yeah.
We're at a point culturally where not only are we able to work these things in, we can acknowledge that they are worth discussing. Because you look at shows in like the 90s when they talk about the heavier subjects like drug abuse or rape or cancer. They, in like the 90s sitcom style, things are always better by the end of the episode. Very rarely would they actually have things permanently change. The first one I remember that happening with was Boy Meets World. I grew up on that show. And Sean, the character Sean's father, passed away. And that was why Sean ended up spending time with Corey and his family. Mm-hmm. And basically growing up with them more than they already had, because he was already somewhat of an abandoned child. And they had a lot of talk in the episode about like the validity of his emotions for like, should he feel grief for a father who was almost never there? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air did something very similar where Will Smith's character's father,
he passed away, right?
No, he just walked out on him.
He just walked out on him
again.
Oh.
Like they brought him in for an episode or two, maybe a couple episodes, and Will's character got all excited because he was going to go live with his father and he was going to be with the dad who was never around. And then while he was upstairs getting his bag, the dad left.
Yeah.
And he just, like, the scenes on YouTube, and, like, Will Smith is an amazing actor. And
yeah, he's incredible.
I would like to see more of, like, that act. Because now, like, I love Will Smith, but now when he's in a movie, it's, such and such a character as portrayed by Will Smith. Not Will Smith really becoming the character. Like he did back then. And because it's an amazing scene where first he's angry and then he just breaks down.
Yeah.
And it's really impressive. And now we're finally at a point where we can do that with more and more shows. I'm not saying every show needs that.
Oh God, no.
I just finished
stick to your niche, man.
Right. I just finished rewatching the Voltron reboot on Netflix, which is hilarious. Has some episodes with some very strong, heavy themes. Handles them very well, but also in a lot of episodes works in a lot of great character humor.
Sure.
Sure. Because not every show needs to be that dark.
No, certainly.
Like Jessica Jones. Transformers Prime, great fucking show. Handles the tone of various episodes really well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
That's it's TV in general has just gotten over the last few years has just become more and more what I would consider to be human.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more. Because people not only not portray, but can hang on to more than one emotion at a time.
Yeah. I think a big part of that too is the diversity, how diverse it's gotten in getting your media. Because back in the 90s, you had your mainstream television networks, and that was why it was important what time slot a show was in, because then it had to fight with other shows. And like why Friends and Seinfeld were as popular as they were, because they got a following early and kept that following, and other shows weren't able to dethrone them. Now you have Hulu, you have Netflix, you have on-demand services, so you don't have...
Different companies have their own streaming apps.
Right, Funimation, Crunchyroll. Yeah. So you don't have to watch the show when the network says it's time to. Even...
ABC, NBC.
Right, even like
CBS.
The CW. I watch all the CW superhero shows because I really enjoy them. I don't have cable. I watch them online. I watch them on the app.
Yeah.
I watch them when I feel like watching it. So because of that, not only is there more diversity in your programming, and the networks that are making these shows are able to do things that previously the bigger networks like the mainstream ones would have locked down on and be like, whoa, you can't talk about PTSD.
All right.
So they're able to do things now that they weren't able to earlier, and people want that.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, it's really good to talk about, especially since like these things are becoming more and more prevalent. For example, going back to PTSD, just mental health in general.
Yeah,
it's not. It's talked about so much more now, and so much so that for example, our state government is now distinguished two departments: one the Department of Health, one Department of Mental Health, that are distinct from each other.
Wow.
Right? I think the Department of Mental Health used to be in the Department of Health, but they're not. But now they're different, and now they handle different things and are located in different places. So it's just that shows how far it's come.
Yeah,
I think, and a lot of it, and just in general, like you said, 20 years ago we wouldn't be able to talk about that shit. No way. And now in 2017.
Even 10 years ago, we wouldn't be able to.
10 years ago, it was still touchy. But now, in 2017, I want to know what's coming. I want to be able to... It's a little bit more relatably human.
Yeah. And it's also important because I can't remember specific examples, but I think of shows like Will and Grace, where when they showed characters about their sexuality... It was either never really brought up as a factor. Like they were always hinting that Will and Grace would end up together even though Will was gay.
Yeah.
Then you had their two basically sidekick characters. One was flamboyantly gay and the other one was just a really extravagant woman. And
pretty promiscuous.
Yeah, they were
if I remember that show correctly.
Yeah, and they were the joke characters because that was the only two types of gay that was allowed on television. Basically, was Will, who basically was treated as not actually gay.
It wasn't treated as gay. He was gay,
but they never did anything with it.
Yeah, there was nothing they could do. He was just a normal dude who happened to be gay.
Right. And then there was what's his face, who was so flamboyant he was a caricature.
Yeah.
And that's excuse me. When you have that as your main examples on television, that's not a good thing because that's going to be what fuels the discussion among people. Where if that's how it's portrayed, that's what they're going to expect.
Right.
Sure. And now, and it's the same with things like PTSD, like rape victims, like people with mental health issues.
Yeah.
If you only show them one way on television or a few select ways, House is another good example where it's like, here's someone with an extreme mental health issue and drug addiction, but you're showing it as like this advantage. Or Bones is another example where someone who is apparently so smart, they're completely detached from how to interact with people. Mm. It fuels this perception that that's an okay thing and you can just treat them as if it's a superpower. and it's gonna end up biting people in the ass because they're not going to be prepared for someone who is actually addicted to painkillers, who is actually somewhat autistic.
Sure. Yeah.
In my Taekwondo class, I've worked with autistic kids, on varying levels of the spectrum. Great kids. None of them are like the main character in Bones, who is supposedly she's so smart because she's on the autism spectrum. But they don't treat her that way.
Huh.
They treat her as if she's just got this superpower.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, actually, now that I think of it,
I got on a little rant
to shift gears. As much as I do like to talk about mental health and like its implications in today's humans and how we consume different things, how we view different things, I kind of want to talk about what we want to see from 2017.
Yeah, this is a good point to segue into that anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, let me ask you that first. What do you want to see from 2017?
A double rainbow.
A double rainbow?
I'm kidding. Don't hit me.
That's a fucking...
That's an old one. I know. I brought it back.
Oh, boy.
I mean...
Now tweet at SchwartzTKD with the hashtag no double rainbow asshole. And I will love you forever. That's one of the things.
Every time you tweet that at me, he'll hit me.
Every time. Every single time. I'll be like, all right, buddy. We got 23,000 to hear. This is gonna take a while.
If we actually get 23,000 tweets, that'd be amazing. I will let you punch me 23,000 times.
At Slap Happy Chaps with the hashtag no double rainbow. Take off the asshole because that's vulgar.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
No, in all seriousness.
Yeah, what do you want to see for 2017?
There's a few things. I have a plan for my voiceover career. Because I'm going to be getting my demos recorded soon. It's hard to put a benchmark on where I want to be by the end of the year, but I want to have had at least some success with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Doing a lot of stuff with the local comic conventions this coming year.
Sure.
So that's going to be crazy busy with that, but that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and I mean, like the rest of it is just like.
Keep this podcast going, maybe?
Definitely keep the podcast going, obviously. The rest of it is just like, my day job's my day job.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Pay some bills, keep the apartment powered and heated, etc.
Yeah, just keep yourself fed and sheltered, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and I mean, aside from that, I want Wonder Woman to actually be DC's first good movie. I want to see more awesome Marvel and Disney and Star Wars movies, which I'm not really worried because they actually know what they're doing.
Well, those are actually like coming out.
Yeah.
Like we already know that they have release dates in 2017.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm more looking for is what would you want to see outside of that? Your voiceover career thing. That's an example of that. You're gonna be, God, how am I gonna put this? You're going to be getting your demos recorded. Mm-hmm. You're going to be able to, once you get them back, you're going to be like distributing them everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you do marketing and all that.
Doing deliberate auditions.
Yeah. So you want to have some success with that. That's cool. I
want to get back into my writing.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've slacked off a lot on that lately. For a while I was writing almost weekly. I want to find some more competitions to submit my work to.
Sure.
Just because I have an easier time with some kind of prompt.
Yeah.
Like if I just sit down and say, I'm going to write 1,000 words of what?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's reactive.
Right,
It's easier to react than to draw from within, it seems.
Yeah. I mean, even with some of the ideas that I have, it's harder to frame them than it is if someone, like some of the challenges that I do just for fun, where it's like take an item from this list and an item from this list and combine them in a short story. Those are good because they give me a framing device. Even if I end up with something like I remember one of them was the same author I mentioned earlier from his blog Terrible Minds, Chuck Wendig.
Yeah,
awesome dude. I remember one time he posted a genre mashup where it was like a list of 10 genres and another list of 10 genres, and it was pick one from each and mash them together. I did haunted house romance, and I wrote a story about a serial killer, his ghost wife, and they were celebrating their anniversary, and then a van, which was obviously full of a Scooby-Doo parody, pulled up. And that was the present. That was how they were going to celebrate.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. Like, it ended there, because it was only 1,000 words, but, like, and just something completely off the wall. And I remember reading that for folks in a kind of open mic thing, and one person, like, actually burst out laughing when I described the kids getting out of the van.
Right.
So nice. just shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What are you looking in for?
Well, stop yawning.
Well,
for 2 seconds.
You got 364 days to not yawn.
Yeah, 364.25, a Julian year.
That's true.
Yeah. I actually realized, like, that's, like, the precise Julian year that light years is measured off of.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, 365.25 days.
Hmm.
Right, that's how it's actually computed, I guess. So I just thought it was kind of funny, and interesting. What I would like to do, since I kind of got my voiceover career already kind of started. I got my demos recorded in November, got them back last week, this past week actually, on Tuesday, the 27th, and I put them up on SoundCloud. So if you want to look up Legend by Design on SoundCloud, it might be under my real name, Cody. It'll say my name, aka Legend by Design. What else do I want to see? Like, I want to be able to actually, I want to have some success with it. Right? But I'm also trying to keep a level head about it. Like, if I can make this a full-time gig, I would love that.
Yeah.
Likewise. I don't mind. I really like my day job, and I have a very very good support system there who's always cheering me on. So, like, I definitely like having that. But if not, I just want to be able to, like, get more responsibility on that job and be able to work on challenging projects that would help just help improve general health.
Yeah, because you work for the folks who don't know,
I work for the health department. Yeah. And
I work in a data management office, so for me it's just I go in, I clean up the files for that day, I move on. It's not a bad job by any stretch. It's just not my dream job.
Yeah.
My dream job is stuff like this, stuff like working with the comic convention, local convention, which actually the owner of that has offered to have me go hunt down vendors for him and sign vendors.
Oh, right on.
And get paid for that.
Sweet.
So yeah, that's something I can definitely see myself doing. But
awesome.
Much like the voiceover, our internet stuff in general, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. So
we got plenty of time to do it.
I want to keep plugging away at my day job just to keep it going.
Yeah. What I'd also like to see is I feel like I'd like to be more active, just in any facet, really. Whether it's taking another walk every day or doing something a little bit more unorthodox, like that the convention scene's not really my circuit. The circuit's not really my scene, which is what I should have said.
Close enough. Potato, tomato.
Okay. And I want to find a community where I can be, like, super engaged in.
Yeah, because I have that with the convention and cosplay crowd that we have around here.
It seems like you're doing exactly what you should be doing.
It's a great group of people.
Yeah, it sounds like it, man. I've met
well, we won't drop any names on here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've met a couple of them, and they seem like really just decent people.
Yeah,
so, like, hey, if you're making ends meet, why not dress up? It's fun to do that as an adult.
Yeah,
really and as a kid, it's fun for everybody.
Yeah. I like walking around in my Loki costume with my giant cape trailing behind me.
Yeah, no doubt.
And just the looks I get. And I mean, I remember I went to Free Comic Day a couple months back, and this little like girl, probably like barely 4 or 5 years old. She was too shy to say it to me, but she whispers to her dad, who then says, she wants to know if you're a prince. And I'm just like, oh my god, yes. So adorable.
So if you want to tweet at us, with what you want to see in 2017, use the hashtag #My2017 in order to tell us what you want.
Yeah,
and we'll give you a shout out.
Also, we are going to have a whole freaking year of podcasts and other YouTube episodes. So if there's anything that you want to hear us talk about in the podcast, I mean, most of it's going to be like when the Marvel movies come out, like when
I want to get guests on here.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
I mean, Catnip's already said he's willing.
Yeah.
So he's just like, if you need a weeb.
But in general,
just to kind of segue. Don't want to interrupt, but he did this year. I think he did a AMA with Chuck Huber, one of the main voice actors in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Mm-hmm.
He played Hiei, and they did an AMA, and Catnip, who is my brother, is a mod on the Yu Yu Hakusho subreddit.
Oh, okay.
So he's been very active with that. It was his and my first exposure to anime, and it was all downhill from there. It just got
mine was Dragon Ball Z in the middle of the Cell Saga, but I found Yu Yu Hakusho shortly after that.
Yeah,
back when Adult Swim was good.
Yeah, back when Adult Swim was good. I don't know. Rick and Morty's on there.
Apparently, they're bringing Dragon Ball Super to Adult Swim.
They are. Yeah, they're bringing it to Toonami.
Yeah, but yeah. Also, there's just because something that we're going to start doing. I'm going to be heading out of state for a couple of months for February and March. But when I come back, we're actually planning to start doing 2 of these a month.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, so 2 podcasts a month. So we'll have time when a movie comes out or when a TV show airs, like Luke Cage, which, as our first podcast, we were both just foaming at the mouth. We loved it so much.
Yeah.
But we'll have time then to also talk about other stuff. So if you guys ever have something you want to hear us talk about, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw it down in the comments, tweet, Facebook, the Slap Happy Chats.
I mean, last time when
Twitter,
we were talking about crossovers, we ended up basically talking about Death Battle and character matchups half the time anyway. Mm-hmm. So,
yep.
Yeah, I would love to do an episode of just like who would win in a fight and why, or who's the better example of a hero or a villain or whatever.
By what definition do you consider hero? Things like
exactly. Just shit for fun. Just topics to kill an hour with.
Yeah, complexity I find is very fun to talk about. Like these types of things with layers and layers of complexity.
I'd like to do one sometime where we take that Would You Push the Button website and take turns picking the one we want to argue, and then the other one has to argue the other side for why they wouldn't push it.
Okay.
That'd be fun to do.
I will always push the button.
What if the button is...
Always.
What if it's like, you die, but you die painfully?
Always.
Apparently, he would push the button.
I would always push the button. Or, what would be fun is Would You Rather.
Yeah.
Either Would You Rather or Higher or Lower, which is something you can check out. Like, for example, which was Google search more? I think there were a couple of YouTubers did it. Like, one was comparing Leonardo da Vinci and PewDiePie.
Oh, jeez.
Like, which one was good, higher or lower? Who was Googled more?
I'm going to say PewDiePie.
I'm willing to say PewDiePie.
Probably.
Little Mister. No, I don't know him, so. Yeah. Right? So I imagine he'd be fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
Mr. 50 million subscribers now.
Or
when he hit that mark, he was just like, woo! Well, now he deleted his second channel, which had over 1 million.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he was...
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, just Would You Rather would be another good one.
Yeah, Would You Rather.
Yeah. I mean, just random topics of conversation.
Oh, yeah, and if we have other people here, we can do, like... I saw this on the Trailer Park Boys podcast. They do, like, Jeopardy.
Okay.
Either Jeopardy. Or Family Feud. I'd prefer Jeopardy, personally.
Yeah.
Bubbles Trebek. No, I can't do the Bubbles voice.
Yeah, just or even just like
shout out to SwearNet.
Not Cards Against Humanity, but one of the similar ones. Just playing that.
Yeah, man.
Just things. Again, just things to kill an hour with.
Yeah, they'd be fun.
Yeah,
dude, why not? Yeah. Again, And another thing I want to see out of 2017, seriously, more. We need to get guests on this goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this would be a lot of fun to just shoot the shit with people.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the thing with... we were on another podcast a while ago, and it kind of trailed off because we kind of ran over everything we could talk about for a lot of stuff. And, you know, not that that's going to necessarily happen again, but getting guests in is a good way to keep things fresh.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. And just fun. And if if any of the viewers or listeners have any other ideas for us to talk about on this podcast here, please feel free to let us know in the comments on any of our social media. We're more than open to suggestions.
Yep. We're looking into doing other slap chats like you did with Kirikai.
Yeah.
Just other interviews with other internet folks.
With other internet people. Yeah.
Yeah. But and so that'd be another thing we can do is just have like sub segments.
Yeah. Why not?
Of Slapcast.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Slap Chat was fun to do. Especially with Kirikai, he was a pretty he was a very open dude, and he's just like very fun for me to talk to.
Yeah,
and I also had a list of questions just to go off of anyway.
Yeah. Well, like you use those to help if the conversation starts to run low. You use that to.
I filled an hour just using those questions, which was weird. Like I didn't expect that to happen, and we just we chatted. He's a nice guy.
When I was doing journalism. When I was doing interviews for my journalism stuff that I did a while ago, like that was one of the first things that they told us not for a news story. For a news story, you want to get the facts, but for a general, more personable story, you know, have your questions ready, but just have a conversation. And then if the conversation starts to run low, you move on to your next question.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's good. It's good. That's a really good thing to do. So those are what I'd like to see. As far as Slapcast goes, and as far as Slap Happy Chaps goes, I'd like to see more of that for the podcast. I want to see, you know, just as much from
YouTube.
Just YouTube in general.
Yeah.
Like abridging stuff that we do.
Yeah, with Extra.
With Extra.
We're working on ours, we won't say what it is yet. It's going to be a surprise, but we got another movie coming that we're going to start working on soon.
Wrote it. It's all written.
It's all written. The script is pretty much fully drafted.
Yep. Oh, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
And we're casting now.
Yeah.
That's gonna be your thing. I'm gonna be editing the thing as best I can, and it's gonna be hard.
It's okay.
It's okay. No, it'll be all right. I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Yeah.
And it's going to be challenging.
It's going to be fun, though, because we got a lot of good ideas to work in there, like background music jokes. And oh, my God, absolutely. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and Seven Deadly Slaps.
And I think the fact that we co-wrote it is going to, like we were talking about before, you know, co-writing something, especially for comedy, allows you to cast a wider net for your jokes. Yeah.
It also allows you to kind of reel in, like, hey, we're going a little too far with this. We need to keep the plot moving. We need, like, this is just superfluous dialogue or anything.
Just because one person thinks... Right, just because one person thinks it's funny to make the same joke 8 times, maybe stop it at 3. Yeah. Or just don't make that joke.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And I absolutely think that co-writing this particular project was really, really fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I want to do it with some of the other DC ones, because, it's not really given away that it's a DC thing. All we do is that Slap Happy is DC for movies.
DC for movies, and then Seven Deadly Slaps after Under the Red Hood Abridged is finished.
Yep.
Which, unfortunately, we had to push back again to, like, January, to the end of this month.
Yeah.
And it's just... It's frustrating to have this pushed back so much, because our original release date was November. It was the end of November, but it's also, this is for Extra Ed, like, he's been doing a tremendous job with the editing, and the directing, and just everything. He's been the only person doing it, so another thing that...
On top of his real job.
Yeah. So he's been taking on a lot of this.
Yeah.
So it's so that's one thing I want to learn is to take some of that off of his plate,
right?
So that we can not only focus on Seven Deadly Slaps and whatever comes after that.
Yeah.
Like, because we're planning on finishing Seven Deadly Sins season 1 we're planning on finishing Seven Deadly Sins season 1. I don't know where we're going to go after that, but I know that that's where we're going.
Yeah.
And we want to have at least one of these movies out every year. One of the DC movies out every year.
And having another editor will just make that whole thing easier.
No, it'll be much easier.
Yeah. Also, because we wrote this one, it's nice to have one of us be the editor as well.
Yeah. Definitely. And and then we talked about doing like what's called a team project in Premiere Pro, or it looks like you can do. Looks like a bunch of people can log on to the same project.
Oh, that's cool.
Do that, so it makes things easier.
Yeah,
it'll definitely help the workflow, and Extra can help me do stuff that I don't know how to do, which is a lot. But
you'll learn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm in good hands. Like Extra had learned how to edit by himself. Like he taught himself how to do that over hours and hours and days and months.
And now it's just getting faster and
faster. Now he's just getting much better at it.
Yeah.
Like he's so much better at it.
Yeah.
Especially than I could ever predicted. So that's a testament to his work ethic. Because that dude, I can't say enough good things about him. Especially as far as
look what he did with Jonah Hex. That was phenomenal.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Didn't he make that opening himself? Or part of the opening?
No, I mean he put in he put in abridged in the same like.
What was I thinking?
Same font and I think the effect too.
That's what I meant. Yeah, like
that he
the
did
bolding, the 3D look of it.
Yeah, he did that. And he got the idea of doing it after we did Green Arrow, which I wrote that one, and I think that came out okay. Yeah, but it definitely would have been better if I had extra help. It says on the extra, I just kind of wrote it on a whim, showed it to Extra, and he's just like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Really? You're willing to do this?" He goes, "Hell yeah, we're gonna do this. We're in between episodes of Seven Deadly Slaps. Why not do it?" So we cranked it out in a weekend. And
for a weekend, it looks really good.
For a weekend,
especially the other additional effects that he did.
Yeah, and taking out all the credits.
Yeah,
we took out all of them, and you can't see them. I mean, I've seen other Green Arrow bridges that left all the credits in, and I just go,
no,
come on, man! I mean, it was fine because one or two of them had dialogue that kind of distracted me from that. Yeah. But at the same time, you got to have some kind of. There's got to be some kind of balance there,
right? In that. Well, it is tricky because with the bridges and the parodies, we did not make this original footage.
Yeah,
all those original animators and sound artists did. But for the sound, we're ripping that out.
Yeah,
that's not in there anymore. Yeah. And also, just for the fair use claim of things. Don't put the original credits in. That's just going to muddy the waters.
Yeah, that. Oh God.
Yeah.
That would be so.
And also on the other hand too, take some pride in your own work. You're the one who edited together this parody.
Yeah.
If you're going to put credits in, put your own in.
Yeah. Which we were absolutely able to do. We did Archer style credits, which I thought was fun.
That was hilarious.
That was a great touch.
That was fantastic.
That wasn't even my idea. That was Extra's. He's just like, hey, you know what Green Arrow is? I'm like, an archer? He goes, yeah. An archer. And I go, oh. So yeah, let's do it.
Nice.
And who had the most characters in that thing? Extra. He had the most characters in that fucking thing. He does a good job voice acting too. He's definitely a multi-talented individual, and even outside of abridging, he's just good at what he does. So. Which is amazing because he took the time to actually learn all this shit.
Yeah,
and it's tedious work.
It really is.
The visual editing is just such tedious work. I like doing the audio much more. Not just the recording, but also the sound design, sound effects.
When you're editing lip flaps for the 18th time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I don't even want to. Which is even harder with Western.
I did one episode of Psycho Chaps, and I feel like the lip flaps I did came out very well, but it was a tedious goddamn process.
Yeah, no, it definitely did.
Yeah,
boy, oh boy, that was something else. That was friggin' silly. Oh man.
So, I don't know. I think that's a good wrap up for 2016 and a good look forward into 2017.
Definitely. We only talked about our personal futures, like as far as what we want from 2017.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, tweet at us at SlapHappyChaps with the hashtag #My2017 to tell us if there's anything you'd like to see out of 2017.
Yeah, personally or otherwise.
Personally, pop culture-y, nerdy, otherwise. Yeah.
I didn't get into, I didn't bring up the politics of the past year because I don't want this to become a political show.
No, God, no.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to just ignore politics altogether.
Yeah, and quite frankly, all the big world-changing stuff, let's be honest, that's out of our hands. We can change the here and now. Yeah, that's what we should focus on.
And very little is going to trickle down to the everyday, I think.
Yeah.
Surprisingly little.
Yeah. But anyway.
An extra 4 cents at the gas pump, whatever. But
anyway, we'll wrap it there.
Yeah.
As always, it was lovely having you guys listen to us.
Yes, thank you.
Please do like, favorite, subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Slap Happy Chaps, YouTube, Slap Happy Chaps, and Slapcast.
Twitter at Slap Happy Chaps.
Yep, SoundCloud.
If we haven't, covered that already.
Yep. We got this up on SoundCloud and iTunes as well.
Yep.
Under Slapcast.
And each other individually at Schwarz TKD for him, at Legend by Design for me.
For Twitter, yeah.
For Twitter. And we each have our own, Slapcast on SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. I'm glad. I'm glad we actually did. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah. That's all I got. We'll wrap it up there.
Right on.
Take care all.
Peace out.
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 All.
Peace out.